Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here. This is just an idea that I had of making concrete fencing. I've made various types of fencing in the past, wooden fencing, brick walls, stone walls, that type of thing. But it's the first time I've endeavoured to try to make a concrete fence. So please watch the rest of the video and I will show you how I went about making it. If I give a closer look, it looks quite concretey. Okay, so let's get on with the video. Before I do, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell and you will be informed when new videos come along. So let's get on with the video and I'll show you how I went about making it. Okay, so I'm going to use 2mm cardboard. A 135 scale, 2mm is obviously 70mm, which is 2 3/4 ish, which is that kind of thickness, well maybe that much, which is just about the thickness of a segment of concrete that would go to make up a fence like this. So I don't think we're too far from the right scale with 2mm. Okay, so I've cut it to 12 inches long, which is 30 centimeters, but obviously you can make it any length you like. And I've made it 2.5 inches high, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 66 centimeters high. I've done it like that because it's easier to mark into 5 segments, 1/2 inch or 12mm, 1/2 inch or 12mm, and so on to the top. So easy to work out. So we've got 5 strips that will make up the concrete fence itself, and then we've got the uprights that will hold the concrete pieces in place like that. And then the same the other side, but I'll cut them into strips first. What I will do is, if I can see what I'm doing, there we are, with a piece of sandpaper, sand a bevel or a radius, whatever you like, on the edge, then cut the strip, then turn it around and do the same with the other side. So I've got 5 strips of card, each with a bevel on either side. So when they're put back together, you'll see a defining line between the pieces of concrete. You'll see what I mean when I do it. Okay, so I'll cut these strips and then glue it onto these uprights and see where we go from there. Okay, so I cut my card into strips and put that chamfer on either side, and then put these uprights, stuck these uprights on the back and the front. These are 1/4 inch wide, by the way, 6mm, something like that. And then chamfered the edges of those and also rounded the edge on the top like so, that way. So we've got that now. Now I know we've got a gap between the strips of card, but that's for a reason. So when I got my where is it, wall filler, I can never remember the name, wall filler with some water so that it's paintable. If you take it straight out of the tub, you can't paint with it, but add a bit of water to it and it's pliable enough to paint. And obviously painting straight onto cardboard is not a good idea. You won't necessarily get a very good finish. So we need to seal the cardboard. So I'll just do a couple of panels. Made a bloody mess already. I'll just do a couple of panels with this, and as you can see, it's filling those gaps up. So without those gaps, I would just fill where those chamfers are either side. And I think it looks a little bit better with a slight gap between some of the I realise that you probably won't get a gap between two very heavy pieces of concrete, but I personally just think it looks a bit better. You can always say that it's an expansion joint, if you like. Okay, I'll just do a couple of panels like that. What you can do then, not now, but a little bit later, before this dries, is stipple over the wall filler like so, and that will give, well, it will give a stippled effect, and that will give the effect of concrete, a rough concrete. So before it dries completely, and I may need to put a little bit more on, but just to give it that stippled effect all the way along, and then I'll put my concrete paint on, but we'll do that in a minute. So I'll carry on painting the rest of the panels, do the stippling, and come back and we'll finish it off. Okay, so I think my wall filler has dried adequately enough, and as you can see, with that stippling effect, it gives that rough concrete kind of texture. I believe it does anyway. Okay, so what we need to do is make it look like concrete, because that's what it's supposed to be. So I've got some grey grout available from all fine DIY stores anywhere. Just go to the ceramic tile section and ask for tile grout, and I've mixed some together. It's just grout powder and water. It does go a bit thick quite quickly, so you can't mess about with it. Okay, that's a decent consistency now for it. So again, I'll just do a couple of panels. Too much. Slap this on, which may be a good enough finish as it is. There we go. I'll just do this bit. Okay, it looks crap now, but believe me, when it's dry, it'll look better. So you've got, did you see that? With some water and a washing up sponge, then just keep dabbing. I'll put it on the and it will bring out the texture of the wall filler underneath, but yet still keep some of the grout. Okay, that's the kind of thing we're looking for. Obviously it's still wet and not looking good at the moment, but when that's dry, that will be all right. Okay, I'll probably go over it again. May have taken a little bit too much off, but I'll do the rest of it and dab the rest of it as well, and then leave it to dry. It'll only take half an hour or so, and then we'll be back. I will be back, and we'll see the finished object. Okay, I've finished the fence off now. The grey grout has dried nicely. I fixed it onto a bit of a diorama base and put barbed wire on the top, which is perhaps a little more in keeping. If you're interested in how I make my barbed wire, please refer to previous videos. I make barbed wire in I think a rather unique and easy way of making it. So if you're interested, please have a look. But there we are, one concrete fence. I don't know if you could, if I take that off and you can see a little bit closer. It's with that stippling of the wall filler. It's given that rough texture look that concrete fences of this type would probably have. Okay, there we are. So I'll stick my trusty half track back. So there we are, just an idea. It could be part of your diorama if you needed a concrete fence. I've made various fences of all kinds in the past. This is the first time I've tried a concrete one. I think it worked out pretty well. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell, click the thumbs up, click the share. You can even click the super thanks button, but of course I leave that entirely in your hands. So see you in the next video. I don't know what it will be yet. Something interesting, I'm sure. So again, see you in the next video, and as always, I wish you the very best of happy modelling.